Nancy, what are you doing here?
Don't you think I should be asking you that question?
I can explain, Nancy, but please, don't tell anyone that you found me here. If I get sent back to France, my fiancé will give up on me, and I will have let down my family again.
What's your fiancé expecting you to accomplish by breaking into the Queen's Tower?
I am doing this for my country and for my family's name. Isabelle has nothing to do with it, except that I feel I must succeed before I will feel worthy to marry her. The tower holds a valuable French historical document. If I can find it and return it to France, perhaps I can make up for my failure at the Olympics.
What kind of document?
The tower first belonged to the Château Rochemont in France. When Ezra Wickford bought the tower, my great-grandfather was the master carpenter in charge of dismantling it and preparing it for shipment. One day, when he was working alone, he found a secret compartment in one of the walls.
A secret compartment?
Inside, he found an old journal with a royal crest on the cover and a medallion with a strange blue stone in it. But he heard other carpenters coming, so he hid the medallion in his pocket and sealed the journal back in the compartment. Before he could get back to study the journal and return the medallion, the tower was dismantled and shipped to America. He never learned who the journal belonged to or what it said.
Why didn't your great-grandfather tell anyone about his discovery?
He thought if he told his story, Ezra Wickford might get angry, accuse him of interfering with the project, and try to ruin his name as a carpenter. So he kept quiet.
So, how do you know all of this?
I was his only great-grandson. On his deathbed, he gave me the medallion and told me the whole story. He begged me to come here to Wisconsin to find the journal and return it to France.
You must feel a real sense of responsibility to carry out your great-grandfather's dying wish.
Oh, yes, of course. But it's not just for my great-grandfather. It is for France. The journal bore a royal seal. It must have belonged to Marie Antoinette, because she used to visit the tower during the Revolution. So perhaps it contains her confessions, or perhaps it contains proof of her innocence. Either way, the contents of that journal could change French history forever.
I just don't see how you can think that journal will still be up there after all these years.
I know it's possible that someone found the secret compartment when the tower was being put back together, but I have to check anyway. I just have to know. Nancy, do you think you could help me? Let me show you this medallion, and maybe you'll be able to tell me what it's for.
I might be willing to help you, but you have to tell Christy everything. I'm sure she'll understand, and then you won't have to sneak around in the middle of the night, haunting the castle with that screeching hacksaw.
Okay, Nancy, I see your point. I will explain everything to Christy Lane as soon as possible. Now will you help me? I think this medallion will interest you, and maybe you'll have some idea what it's for. It's in my locker. Will you go get it while I take care of something? The combination is 2665. I'll meet you in the locker room in a minute.
Okay, Jacques. I am intrigued. I'll see you downstairs.
You're the best, Nancy.
Don't mention it. Ouch. Oh, someone must have knocked me out. Headache headquarters. Nancy here.
Nancy, it's Jacques. What happened? Are you okay?
I'm fine, Jacques, but I'm afraid your medallion is gone.
Oh la la, you can't be serious.
I'm sorry, Jacques. I know how important that medallion was to you.
This is too much. Oh la la, unbelievable.
Front desk. Dexter here.
Hi, Mr. Egan. It's Nancy. I was wondering about the storm. Any signs of it letting up?
Look, I'm up to my ears down here. I'll have to talk to you later, sorry.
Welcome to the voicemail system. Please press 0 to retrieve messages. To leave the system, please press 3. First message.
Yeah, Miss Drew, this is Dexter at the front desk. Can you come down when you're feeling better? I need to talk to you for a minute. Thanks.
To go to the next message, press 2. Second message. To leave the system, please press 3. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hello?
George, it's Nancy.
Great timing, Nancy. Bess and I were just saying how we wish we were out on the ski slopes with you. Hang on, I'll get her to pick up the other phone. Hey, Bess, our favorite detective's on the phone.
Hey, Nancy. How's the vacation?
I guess you haven't gotten my letter. Not only do I have a blizzard on my hands, but I may have stumbled onto another case, too. The castle library was vandalized, and one of the other guests says her room was robbed.
Boy, oh boy. Have you searched the library for clues yet?
Well, that's the thing. Dexter Egan, the caretaker, says it's locked up and off limits until the police can get here. But who knows when that'll be.
That's funny, Nancy. I didn't know the phrase off limits was even in your vocabulary.
Seriously, though. Don't you think that your dad's friend, Christy Lane, would feel better knowing that you're on the case, at least until the police can take over?
She's right, Nancy. I mean, who knows what this Egan guy is all about anyway? Sounds like you're just gonna have to find an alternative entrance to that library.
Here I go again. Just hope I don't have to slide down the chimney.
And what about this robbery? Who got robbed?
I'm not sure. The guest's name is Professor Hotchkiss. I think she's a bit eccentric.
You mean weird?
Nutso?
A few sandwiches short of a picnic?
Okay, you guys. I just mean that I'm not sure how reliable her testimony will be.
Yeah, but she'll probably tell you something important, whether she means to or not.
I met my ski instructor, Jacques Brunet. He sure is French.
Ooh la la, those accents should be illegal.
I hate to break it to you, Bess, but he's engaged.
Now there's a real crime.
Right, Bess. Humanity is devastated.
I met this nice woman, Lisa Ostrom.
What's her deal?
She's a photojournalist doing a story on the castle. She sure got me curious about that tower.
Oh yeah? Does she know where the entrance is?
I don't think so.
Well, keep an eye on her, Nancy. Those photojournalists are born snoopers, you know.
George, are you suggesting that Nancy is a second-class snooper? You're going to give our friend a complex.
Oh, right. Like Nancy doesn't know she's the prime minister of snooping.
I'm trying to meet with Professor Hotchkiss to find out what was stolen from her room, but she won't open her door to discuss it.
That's odd. I wonder what she's so nervous about. I'll bet she's hiding something in her room.
Like what, Bess? The elephant that trampled the library? She's probably just a little freaked. I mean, if her room really was robbed, you'll find a way to make her trust you, Nancy. I'll bet Bess's last slice of pizza on it.
Hey.
Wickford wrote Dexter a farewell poem before he died.
The inventor of chocolate milk was a poet, too?
Yum. I could write a poem or two about chocolate milk.
It says that he hid some sort of luck charm for Dexter to find.
Where?
Something about his old thinking spot somewhere out in the garden. Funny, but I didn't see any garden when I came in.
Well, you can't exactly tiptoe through the tulips when they're buried under 6 feet of snow.
Never mind my cheeky cousin over there, Nancy. When the storm passes, you should go out and see what you can find.
I went back to check out Jacques' locker, and I found a pamphlet about diamonds, a letter from his fiancée, and a warning notice from immigration.
Did his fiancée sound cute in her letter?
Actually, she sounded upset. She wants him to hurry up and do something, but I'm not sure what.
Sounds like that guy is under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I hope he's not marrying her just to stay in the country. Okay, you two. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Hello?
Ned, it's me.
Well, you're a sound for sore ears. Bess called me and told me your vacation is rapidly turning into another mystery. So what's the latest?
I think whatever's going on around here must have something to do with the castle's history and the tower that Ezra Wickford imported from France.
What do you mean?
It's just a hunch. I'll know more once I find my way into the tower. What's going on with you?
The usual. Just buried in books over here.
Apparently, this castle's tower used to be a hangout for Marie Antoinette.
Who's that? Ezra Wickford's wife?
Are you kidding? Marie Antoinette was a famous queen of France.
And she used to hang out in Wisconsin?
No, silly. The tower was originally part of the Chateau Rochemont in France. Ezra Wickford fell in love with the tower and imported it to Wisconsin.
And Marie didn't want to come along.
Well, that would have been pretty tough for her, considering... Ned Nickerson, are you pulling my leg?
What do you mean, Nancy?
You know very well that Marie Antoinette was beheaded in 1793, don't you?
Well, yeah. I guess I read something about that when I studied the French Revolution. But when did Wickford show up?
He didn't discover the tower until the 1920s, over 100 years after Marie's death.
Whew! I think I'm all clear now. Thanks for straightening that out for me, Detective.
You are some pain in the neck, pal.
Good thing I'm so cute.
Bye, Ned.
Go get him, Nancy.
Thanks for coming down. I've been wanting to talk to you. How's your head? Did you slip or what?
Well, let's just say someone must be trying to tell me to get a little more rest on this vacation. Anyway, I'm planning on making a speedy recovery.
It's just that when I found you out cold in the basement and hauled you back to your room, I noticed all this red dirt on your shoes. I'm just curious where it came from.
Red dirt? I guess it could have come from anywhere. I really don't know. I hope I didn't track it around the castle, though. Did I?
No, you didn't track it around the castle. Guess it's a mystery. But listen, I don't want to find you out cold on the floor again, so watch your step, Missy. Whatever it is, I'm sure you don't need my help.
Did you know the original owner, Ezra Wickford, when he lived here?
You could say that.
Did you know him well?
They call it the past for a reason, okay? Because it's over.
So, do you know if Ezra Wickford had a place where he liked to go and think? Someplace he thought of as a refuge?
There was a private area of the garden. Yeah. The entrance was hidden, so no one could bother him there.
Were you allowed to go out there?
Once in a while he'd bring me out there and teach me about his favorite flowers, but that was like 100 years ago.
Do you think I could go check it out?
Forget about it. There's nothing out there but dead weeds and crumbling statues.
Mr. Egan, that red dirt you asked me about, it came from the tunnel that leads to the Queen's Tower. I should have told you in the first place, but I was afraid you'd be mad.
I was wondering when you were gonna come to your senses and fess up. Am I mad? Nope. If you must know, I'm impressed. Ezra Wickford set that secret door up so nobody would be able to find it. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with getting into that tower. Ezra told me that if I could get through the secret door, he'd take me up to see the Queen's Tower. Finally, I got into the tunnel, and when I came out with that red dirt all over me, he laughed. He was actually proud of me.
That's an amazing story, Mr. Egan. I'm glad you're not angry. I guess I'm just as curious as you once were.
I'd say you earned the right to check out the tower for yourself, but you gotta get through that gate, right? There's an old skeleton key in the maintenance shed. Now that the storm's passed, you can go out and get it. But be careful. It's still dead cold out there.
I don't want to press my luck with you, but I sure would like to see Ezra's private garden. Could you tell me how to find it?
It's nothing but wasteland out there. If you're bent on tromping around in the cold, go left when you get outside, away from the shed. Look for a wrought iron gate. You'll figure out the rest.
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
Goodbye.
It's locked.
Nancy, I heard you passed out. What happened? Don't tell me you lost my medallion. Did you?
I didn't exactly pass out, you know, and I didn't lose your medallion either. But I don't have it. Where were you, anyway? Weren't you supposed to meet me?
When I showed up, you were having a catnap on the floor. Ugh, I will be ruined by you American women.
Guess you'd better stay away from me then. Goodbye.
Au revoir, little Miss Nightmare. Look, keep the stupid medallion. It's yours.
glad you came down to talk. Get this. I saw Dexter walking out to the maintenance shack with this, green ornament thing in his hand. He's up to something, right? Maybe you should check it out.
If you're so interested, why don't you go check it out yourself?
I'd love to, but I really should get to work on my article.
What do you know about Jacques Brunet?
Didn't you watch the last Winter Olympics? He's France's big cheese of skiing. He holds the record for the 500-meter slalom, but he totally choked at the games. I guess he's washed up now. But at least his looks haven't gone down the tubes.
So tell me more about the life of a photojournalist. It must be very glamorous at times.
Well, there's nothing glamorous about the pay, I can tell you that much.
There was a little mix-up with the lockers, and I accidentally opened yours.
Yeah, and?
Well, I was kind of confused. I was just trying to see whose stuff was in there, and I found a bunch of IDs in your bag. They all had your picture and other people's names on them.
A savvy photojournalist always carries a couple of alternate identities, Nancy. When you're working under deadline, you don't always have time to play by the rules. I'm sure you know what I mean.
Does your job take you to exotic, far-off places?
Well, there is a lot of travel. Too bad I'm so useless with foreign languages.
Did you know Professor Hotchkiss published a book on Marie Antoinette?
Yeah, I looked her up on the internet. The critics panned the book. Looks like other historians think she's a real quack.
I'm dying to find a way into that tower. Where do they usually hide the secret entrances in weird old Midwestern mansions?
I guess I should know, shouldn't I? Too bad most of the places I've covered aren't any weirder than imitation butter. I wish you'd hurry up and find it, though, so we can check it out.
I'll let you get back to your magazine.
Keep me posted.
Look, keep the stupid medallion. It's yours.